Hey, JJ here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'm going to do a penny hunt, another penny hunt. And these are a lot of fun. There's so many different things that you can look for with the pennies. It's not a huge financial commitment. It's $25 for the box and you'll get 50 rolls. Here, I have a box from the bank. Let me bring it on over here. I just opened it up, make sure they were circulated. And they are. See here, don't see anything on the ends, so no enders. A lot of the time on the ends, if you see like a wheat penny or something cool like that, it's definitely a nice little indication that at least you got a one wheat penny on the board and perhaps many more to come. And so haven't seen any enders on this side. I'll flip them over and look to see if there's any enders on the other end, but 50 to go through. It's going to take a while, so I'm definitely going to bring everyone back in on what I believe to be some of the really cool finds. If I come across any key dates that are worthy of putting them under the microscope, I'll go ahead and do that and see if we can pick off some DDOs. Enough with the chit chat. I'll go ahead and start with this hunt, and I'll bring everyone back in when I find the first, hopefully cool find. All right, see you in a minute. All right, JJ back. Went through 10 rolls so far, still have 40 to go. Have a couple of finds, not a ton, but we got something here. We got a couple of wheat cents here. So here's the first one. Let me zoom on in. And my gloves are already filthy. These pennies are dirty. All right, so we have a wheat cent. You have the wheat stalks right there. And this is what we're looking for, as you guys can see. Starting in 1959 up through 2008, we'll see the Lincoln Memorial. But for now, 1909 to 58, this is what we're referring to when we say the wheat cent. If you look at the back there. This one is a 1956 D. And the other wheat penny that I have here is a 1946 Denver. And I have two on the board of the 2009s. So 2008, as I said, will be the last year of the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. And then in 2009, you have Lincoln's Bicentennial. There's 4 designs there. And then 2010 onward, you have the shield pennies. So here is the second design of the 4 that came out in 2009. As you can see, Lincoln on the front and then the reverse. So this is design 2. This is the formative years in Indiana, where the president is splitting wood there, sitting down reading a book, it looks like. So this is number 2, and then I have design number 4 of 2009. This is the presidency. So I'm happy I was able to, I mean, these are pretty decent condition too. So I'm happy I was able to score these two. So I'm looking for early birth and early childhood in Kentucky. And then I need design number 3, which is the president, the Illinois design, his professional life in Illinois in front of the state capitol. So I need that design, and then I'll have all 4 from this hunt. So that'd be awesome there. All right, what else do I have? Came across a few 1982s. Now, that is a transitioning year, of course. Let me bring out my scale. And we start to transition out of the 95% copper to the zinc. Roughly, I want to say 97%, 97.5% or so zinc. So it's going to be much lighter of a penny in 1982. But again, some were copper and some were zinc, right, in 82. So the only way you really know if you have copper is you have to weigh it. For the 1982, all of before 1982, it's definitively copper, unless you're talking about 1943, where you're going to have some in the steel pennies. That will be the only exception to that. But to truly know if your 82 is copper, you have to weigh it. Okay, so we're looking. Let me zoom on in. Right there. Hope you guys can see that scale. So we're looking for 3.11 grams in order for it to be the 95% copper. Okay, so as you can see, 3.11. So this one's copper. I'll add that to my copper pile. Let's try another. Yep, 3.11. This is copper also. Let's try another. Okay, there we go. So this 82 is 2.5 grams. So this one is a zinc penny from 82. This is not copper. And let me just actually show you the penny itself. You see that? That's a 1982 zinc penny because of the weight, and the other two that we had looked at already. This is an 82 copper and the other 82 copper. Okay, so that's the only definitive way. You can't do it from just look or eyeballing it. I've been fooled plenty of times. I thought it was zinc and it was just a really nice copper, and vice versa. I thought it was copper and it was zinc, so have to weigh it. All right, turn off the scale and let's look at a few of the other finds here that'll probably be worth looking at under the microscope. So let's see. Okay, these are the other 82s. Already covered that. And what do we have here? This is an 83. So there's a DDO, and this is a no mint mark, so it's Philadelphia. This is an 83. There's a DDO opportunity there we'll look for. Put that to the side. This is a 1994, and I believe it's FS 801 that we're looking for on the reverse. The pillars, you're looking for clashes there, potentially like an extra pillar remnant. So we'll look at that. And this is a 92, and this should be wide AM. If this is close AM, or if they're touching, the AM on the reverse is what we're looking for. If it's touching, that is an error that we will add to the scoreboard, and that is very sought after. So we want to check that, make sure that is wide, and if it isn't, we'll have a smile on our faces, hopefully. All right, so that's through the first 10 rolls. I'm going to continue to hunt. I'll bring everyone back in on the next recap. All right, see you soon. All right, JJ back. Just finished another 15 rolls, so we're halfway through. I've completed 25 total. It's a lot of pennies to go through. So I have 3 finds here, some more wheat cents. Let me zoom on in. Wheat cent, this is a 1955D, and another wheat cent. This one is a 58D, last year of the wheat cents. And this third wheat cent here, 1956D. All right. Let's check a look at that last one I just looked at. Yeah, 58. Okay. And then I also found a couple of estimate marks. This one, actually that's the other 83 I'm going to talk about in a minute. This one's a nice one. This one's in pretty good condition. This is a 1968S, as you can see right there. It's a pretty decent condition too compared to the other pennies. And the other estimate, by comparison, not as pretty, but still estimate nonetheless. 1970S. So 2 estimate finds. And I have to like squint sometimes just to see them, just to make sure those are S's, but those are in fact S's. And earlier I talked about the 83 Philadelphia here, so no mint mark. There's a DDO opportunity to look for under the microscope. But another thing to keep in mind with the 1983 is because you had 1982 as a transitioning year, I always like to make sure that I check the year after for potential transition error, because the 83s should be zinc, and if 83 onward, and if you have a 1983 that's mistakenly made on that 95% copper planchet, that is a pretty big find. And I think I saw something like close to $17,000 to $20,000 that it has sold for when you find that incorrect planchet error. So again, 83 should come in at 2.5 grams, just like your zinc should. And if you find that copper, that's a nice find for the 83. All right. So 25 rolls down, we have 25 to go. I'll loop everyone back in when it's time to do the next recap. All right. See you soon. All right, JJ back. So just finished out another 15 and we have 10 remaining. Couple of more wheat cents. So this is about, I want to say 7 on the hunt so far. Another wheat cent. This is a 51D. And this one is, let's see, 55D. And I also found the Presidency, the 2009 Bicentennial, excuse me, not Presidency, the Professional Life. So I designed number 3, Professional Life, in front of the state capitol of Illinois. So that's Abe Lincoln there. And then I found the first design, Birth and Early Childhood, in that cabin there in Kentucky. So we have a complete set of 4, which is awesome. And then I have another Presidency here that I picked up. So very excited about that. We'll add that here with the rest. And the wheat pennies, and we'll finish out the last 10. All right, I'll see you in a little bit. All right, JJ back. All right, finish out those last 10. Nothing huge. Picked up another 3 wheat pennies, which is nice. Wheat pennies. This one is, see if I can get a little bit of light. 1953 D. Next one here, 52. Last one is a 57D. All right, so that's 10 wheat pennies on the hunt, so not bad. And had a couple of estimates for the hunt right here that I showed you guys earlier. Let's take a look here, bring over the microscope. These are really cool. Zoom on out here. Sometimes I have to use the microscope just to check these out because I want to see that defined S. So apologize if there's a glare. But we got 1970 S right there. And I said this one was that 68S, which is real clean, like that one. The other thing I wanted to look at under the microscope, I was referencing earlier, the 92. Flip that over. This should be a wide AM. And it is. If you look at the space in the United States of America at the top, you're going to notice there's space there. If that was touching, then that would be the error that we're looking for 92, and that's worth some money, okay? But this is not that. So overall, not a bad hunt. 10 wheats, couple of estimates, picked up all 4 of the 2009 Bicentennials, which is awesome. And weighed a couple of those 1982s to make sure that they were in fact the 95% copper. We had one that was a 2.5 gram zinc. So I tossed that one back, checked out and weighed a couple of those 83s to make sure that those were 2.5 and not the 3.1 copper mistake planchets. So overall, I thought this was a successful hunt. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and please, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Also, make sure you guys check out my short videos, 60 seconds or less. I provide some really cool coins, tips, tricks, and other just interesting things to look out for in your pocket change. Please drop a comment. Would really appreciate engaging with everyone. And until next time, have a good one.